Here's the bulletproof way of getting into your dream school. You need to have really great grades, test scores, essays, extracurriculars, letters of recommendation, as well as the right context and a bunch of other random factors that influence your application. And ultimately, you need to be able to thread all of these things together and tell a story about yourself and figure out a way to market yourself. Now, I've made a lot of videos about these in the past, so please feel free to check out those playlists and videos. But in this video, I wanted to talk more specifically about extracurriculars and activities, as well as my own personal insights and experiences. First things first, grades are extremely important. If you're applying to an Ivy League institution because it is an academic institution, academics are their most important consideration, so please make sure that you have really good grades. Luckily enough, however, along with good grades, there are other aspects of your application that you can work on, and one of the most bang for buck aspects of the application are your extracurricular activities. I just wanted to make a more candid video on what it means to find your passion, or whatever that means. I've gotten this question a lot after speaking with a lot of you privately, and speaking of, if you have the time, check the link in the description down below for some college resources, as well as to schedule a free consultation call with me to schedule personalized services down the road. All right, so how do you find your passion, and what exactly does this mean? To put it simply, by passion, I simply mean what are the things that you like to do? To clarify, let's take a step back and avoid limiting yourself by only allowing yourself to have one passion. Your passion can be literally anything and everything. There is no quantity or quality limit at all. So take a step back and try to look at your life and self-reflect a bit. What were the moments where you genuinely felt the most excited or happy or interested? What are some of your hobbies? What are things that you liked, that you disliked? You can even talk to some of your close friends or family members about this, and from there, now you have some great hints on what is it that you truly like doing. Now, all of that was simply a preliminary step. Now, let's assume that you do not like anything, or you don't know what you like. Let's just say you're a freshman in high school and you don't know what you like. Just do everything. I know that it's a lot easier said than done, but at the end of the day, I think that you should be grateful for the amount of resources you have, no matter how limited or under-resourced it can be. But being able to have an education and be in that community is a privilege and a blessing, and you should do everything you can to take advantage of that. In terms of action items, literally just ask around. You can ask your teachers, your guidance counselors, other students, upperclassmen. You can check your school's website, social media pages. Basically, take the initiative to learn more about your school and what resources they have to offer. Make a list out of all of those things, and don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone. Do the things that you're interested in, or even the things that you are not interested in at all. Let me give you an example. So when I first started my first year, my freshman year in high school, I didn't really do anything in terms of extracurriculars because I was really just focused on the academic side of school. I recently moved back from Indonesia, and my parents didn't really know anything about the college process, so I didn't know that it was beneficial to start involving myself in extracurriculars early on in my high school career. I only cared about academics initially, but eventually I started hearing from my friends and teachers that there was student council and that they needed 2 student council representatives to run. Honestly, at that point, I just heard of student council because you hear all about it on like shows and movies or whatever, so I decided to audition. Wait, no, I decided to try out. Long story short, I decided to run for student council representative. I got it. And honestly, in my freshman year, I hated it. I didn't really think that it was useful at all, but it did help push me into getting to the habit of just trying something new, being proactive, asking around, and being involved in my community somehow. I started to ask myself questions like, okay, I don't really like this experience, but I do like doing something after school. You know, what are some other things that I might like to do? All in all, the most important step is to just stay curious and get out of your comfort zone and explore, see what's available around you. All right, so once you've explored a bit and now you have a list of things that you're actively doing, whether in school and out of school, and once again, this can be anything from student council to art club, to babysitting, to working a part-time job, to making YouTube videos, to graphic design, the list goes on and on and on. Now it's time to play process of elimination. What are the things that you truly care about, and what are the things that you just don't care about at all? It's a tough decision to figure out which things matter and which things don't, and that's for several reasons. Reason number one is that you might think that the things that you do like don't sound good enough for college, and that is pretty much just bull. You know, don't listen to that noise. You want to do the things that matter specifically to you. Otherwise, there isn't going to be longevity in that pursuit. Now, another reason is that you might be liking too many things. Now, if this is the case, you kind of just got to suck it up and eliminate a lot of those things. But once again, I can't force you, nor is it necessary to only choose 1 or 2 things. But if you are doing more than 3 or 4 different things in different categories, really try to ask yourself if it's meaningful to you, if there are any benefits of it, short-term, long-term, if it brings you happiness or joy, and try to be realistic with time management. Once you have these select few activities, I want you to develop them. You can do this a number of ways. One of the main ways is by doing it for a long time, because it shows that you are consistently involved in something, and it isn't something that you're just sort of throwing away at the end just because you wanted to rush to have something on your resume. You can also be a leader in that activity, and this takes the form of literally being like a president or an executive board member or any sort of important member in that club. If a club for this specific activity that you like doesn't exist, you can also start a club and take the initiative to ask a teacher to serve as the advisor for your club. Another way to develop your activity is to cause and make tangible change with it. This simply means actually having results from doing the things that you are doing. Other great ways to develop it include getting an internship in that specific field or figuring out a way to further advance in that specific field. You can also win honors or awards in that thing, and there's no such thing as an honor that is too small. For example, in my theater club, I won Mr. Congeniality, and that is something that I did in fact put on my Common App resume. So when I did theater in high school, not only was I consistently involved in it as a lead actor, but I also gathered other team members that would help out with marketing and the design of it. And this almost led me to securing an internship at a theater company as well. To catch you up, you've tried out a bunch of different things, you narrowed it down to the things that mean the most to you, you developed those things over a specific period of time. Now you want to connect these passions in a meaningful way. The first thing you can do is to connect your passion to others, to your community. Ask yourself questions like, how can I use my passion to be of service to other people, to provide value to other people? This could be things such as educating other people, inspiring other people, entertaining other people, raising up money and donating that money away as well. Another important aspect is to connect it to yourself, to your own identity. How do your passions and interests reflect your own identity, and how do they go back and forth with each other? For example, as an Asian American first generation student, breaking stereotypes on stage and in media was very important to me personally, but also important to my family and my community. You can then connect your passions to your essays and academic interests, and this overall makes your whole entire application a lot more cohesive and multidimensional. Okay, so why is all this important anyway? So of course, the obvious reason is that it's gonna help you get into your dream school that you wanna get into, but also on a more practical, sincere level, colleges are sort of doing you a favor by helping you figure out your interests early on. This teaches you to be decisive, to make meaningful change, to have interest in something or some things. However, once you're in college, it is completely normal to take a 180 and choose something completely different from what you pursued in high school. That's just how college is and how the rest of your life will be. I mean, what do I know? I'm still just 21, but that's a whole entire journey of self-discovery, but at least now you know the things that you like and the things that you don't like. And overall, doing stuff just helps you understand who you are a lot better. I guess my main takeaway of this video is to just be proactive and to not be afraid and to lean into things that you are unsure about. I hope that this video was helpful to you, and if it was, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, and clicking on the bell notification icon so that you know when I'm posting more videos. But I'm very, very grateful for your support and your kindness. So please catch me in the next video. I'll see you. Okay, why is there a truck? No, that's a car. Wait, what?